Yeah, my name's Chris. I'm going to talk about the value of feedback. Has that gone? Yeah, too far. Right, yeah. A grade and a few notes. Basically, that's the feedback that we've been getting in the past couple of years at uni. Not so much in this module, but especially in first and second year, you'd have one assignment in a module, and that'd be it. The rest were exams, which were multiple choice questions. So within that one assignment, you would get a general grade and a few lines of feedback. But this would be a month after you've done it, so you don't forget about the assignment. So these notes would mean nothing, and they were either too general. Like when it was done in lecture, she'd come up with a load of different problems. I was talking about Faye Short because that's what I remember. She'd come up with a load of different problems that a lot of people encountered, but these were quite easy mistakes, and so it didn't apply to everyone, or at least I didn't think it did. Going through it, I didn't see any obvious mistakes that I had made, so it had no value to me, at least. I don't think I was the only one. When I get my feedback on my thing, I'll get a few lines of saying, you know, general feedback, which didn't really help me because I'd forgotten about the assignment, I'd already got my grade, and the feedback itself didn't really lead to any improvement, to be honest. Yeah. As for people, the feedback in lectures, and it only helped the students who were metacognitively aware of their own mistakes, and they're the ones who are most likely to improve it anyway without any help. So again, I didn't find it particularly helpful. Right, gamification. A grade acts as an extrinsic motivator. Therefore, it is detrimental to intrinsic motivation, and intrinsic motivation is linked to self-esteem, creativity, metacognition, and critical thinking, which are all vital skills that university aims to enhance. So, by introducing grading system at university, they're like shooting themselves in the foot, really. You know, I believe that grades can be replaced with more formative feedback. If you don't give a student a grade, you say, right, this is what I thought about your assignment, this is where you could improve, that would be more helpful because they'd be able to then apply that to future assignments. But it has to be, it does have to be effective. If you know, explain to a student, right, well, you talked about this, but you didn't talk about this, to give a really specific answer, they're not going to apply that to a different assignment because it's completely different. If you explain that you didn't create a well-rounded argument and you forgot the negatives, and then the evidence that supports that, although they're negatives, it's still a good thing, then they're going to be able to then create a more a well-rounded argument in the future. So, feedback can come from two sources that are lecturers and peers. And lecturer feedback is, well, the expert. They know the course, they know the criteria, chances are they even created the criteria, so they're going to know exactly what they want or what they expect. But peer, there is a growing popularity in peer assessment, peer feedback. It can come in larger quantity, it can come quicker, and journal articles are peer reviewed, so it resembles real life practice. Yeah. Immediate feedback seems to be vital, which is very difficult to do for 300 students in one go. That's why it takes a month for you to get your grade back. Whereas if you were to do it with peers, it wouldn't be instantaneous, but it would be could be within 2 minutes, could be within a couple of days. But as this module shows, it will be within a week. It will be, I think we're given, what, 4 days at most? A bit longer if you're turning yours early, but 4 days at the longest, and you'll get all your feedback then. So everything is still fresh in your mind. You're able to see, well, I didn't think about that. like with a comment, they'll say, well, I saw this and I thought of this, and you think, well, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. And then from then on, you see that maybe there's more points of view, and you start to incorporate that and start improving your own. Peers will also let you know if you found something confusing, so you're able to then reply to that. Whereas in an assignment, you can't, but within your comments, you can, and you get marked for them. So you can actually improve your grade through this system. The validity of peer assessment is improved if they understand and they have ownership over the criteria. So within a blog system, during the first seminar or lecture, you can start having workshops on what the criteria should be. So most students will come up with very similar ideas, like what the assignment is, and the lecturer can always take control because they can hint, or they can say, should we not be doing this? So really the lecturer can control it, but at the same time it gives the impression that the students have ownership over this because they had input to it, and this will improve the validity of it. Okay. Yeah, it can be applied in several ways. Last year we did it with the research report drafts, where you submitted one, you were then given another student's work, and then you had to assess it. The other way is what we do in this module, is leaving comments on people's blogs. The research report draft had several problems because not everyone bothered with it. Some people didn't submit anything, some people submitted 1 or 2 sections, and this was really difficult for the people who were given them, because how do you mark one section, like a method section? Really ill conceived there, because people didn't participate. You have to participate in order for peer assessment to work. And the comments in blog system can act as discussion. As you've seen on your blogs, people come up with ideas, and it's far more interactive. Because you go, yeah, I understand your point, but I still think this, and they can come up with other arguments as discussion, which you go through the pyramid of learning. It's actually a really good method of learning, and I think the statistics say it's like 10 times better than lectures. And students will engage on this on their own. It's intrinsic motivation. They don't need to be told to do this, it will just happen naturally. Okay. Peer assessment allows for more regular assignments, takes the workload off the lecturer. We can do more assignments, like in this module. We're doing a blog every week, and Jesse does have to mark them, but he doesn't have to give that much feedback, because that's what you get from the comments. So doing it every week, although the grades act as an extrinsic motivator, it can also show where you are. And then you find out how to improve, so you get top grade. So, that's what I need to do every week, and you continue doing that. Although it's extrinsic motivator, it's far more effective than just having the one assignment, where you get your grade, and you're like, well, I can't do anything with it now. Oh well. You can actually continue improving. Okay. Also gives the students more freedom to explore the subject in the manner that they wish to, which is far better than an MCQ exam where you've just got tick boxes. That, I'd argue, it's almost impossible to show creativity in that kind of situation, whereas in blogs you can start linking in other theories, possibly even other areas of psychology. In MCQ you can't. So yeah, thanks. Any questions?
I think you're really empowering education implements a system where they get constant feedback, like blogs we have every week, we have something to improve on, whereas the main education system every year you get a grade. How would they incorporate the way to allow grading every week or every other week?
With mini assignments like these blogs that allow us to do that, if you do peer assessment, I explained you could do that. Another way is if you had general discussion, encourage people to participate in that, and then within the discussion, people will counter your argument, and from that you can get feedback, and you can start figuring out where you are, because during the discussion you can tell which people have got more passion or more of an idea of what they're talking about, because they will talk more than others, which is fine. The people who aren't talking much, it's either because they're shy or because they don't know the subject. If you don't know the subject, it's very difficult to participate in the discussion. So I think a general discussion could really help improve, I think, almost every subject, really. I'm struggling to think of one which couldn't. Maths, maybe, because that's more logic, but you could do it in physics or chemistry, especially music. So, yeah. Anything else? No. Thanks.